So, morning, Michael.
Good morning, Neil.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
How's it all going? Where did your journey start in waterproofing and doing what you're doing then?
Started in 2004 with a company in Derbyshire.
Yeah, 20 years ago.
20 years ago,
Yeah.
for my sins. And then it progressed from there to work for a manufacturer, and then from there to become a training stroke instructor, stroke consultant in the waterproofing industry. So I deal with waterproofing, ground gas protection and flood resilience. That's my main interest in the industry, yeah.
And it's great seeing apprentices on board today, you know.
Passing on knowledge to technicians as apprentices and getting them to install real details, you know. So this would be maybe as part of a new build housing project, you know.
Yeah.
Principles like continuity of waterproofing and product selection, very, very important.
Excellent.
Well, we're doing a practical exercise for combined waterproofing protection to 150 above external ground.
Excellent.
Minimum.
So we've come over to the PCA training centre today, where it's a hive of activity, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it's all going on.
Good, excellent. So we see the chaps getting all ready and all their kit. So
we've got a drawing here that we're working to. We've got all the data sheets for the products.
I saw them earlier on. I think they're all on the table over there. Really busy.
Planned our work in a sequence, and we're executing that plan.
Excellent. It's great to see a bit of a.
So you've got Ben here putting an external waterproofing system on, so a barrier system on the external face of the retaining wall.
Okay.
You've got Reese cutting some glass fibre reinforcement mesh to reinforce the waterproofing to improve its crack bridging capabilities. Very important.
Excellent.
To make it work, and obviously standards, you know, so in this case BS 8102 2022.
Brilliant.
So we're adhering to standards using products in a controlled and pre-designed sort of way to a plan.
Good. And are you finding the environment is changing a lot now, as in global warming and conditions around us? Is that really playing out for
the structural waterproofing standard, BS 8102, was updated in 2022 with a lot more emphasis on surface water ingress and surface water flooding, which is part of the reason we're doing this continuity to minimum 150 above external ground level.
Brilliant.
Because normally water in the ground is water in the ground, but now we're elevating our protection to above ground level to deal with flooding.
Yeah,
it's a whole different science, but it's very much related to waterproofing.
What about that Valencia issue that's just happened? That was absolutely shocking there, wasn't it?
Yeah. So there are more and more inquiries of people who've been flooded. And with the emphasis in the new waterproofing standard on flood protection, resistance and resilience, basically, it's a lot to go into just now, but we're incorporating that as a consideration in our below ground waterproofing design. So not just the continuity of waterproofing systems, but also internal finishes and fixtures to be resilient, i.e. they don't change formal properties on contact with flood water.
Right.
Elimination of hidden voids on the inside of buildings, which won't harbour water and bacteria long term, and materials that are to do with sealing up things like surface penetrations and other potential routes of entry. We're also working with flood door, flood barrier manufacturers, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Systems.
Yeah, we just had a bit of mesh fall on the floor there. Occupational.
Live TV.
Live TV,
TV. So so
good.
it's all good really, and it's nice to get technicians like this who are interested in what they're doing and obviously very good and talented, you know, to construct real life details, you know, to scale. So
well, we've got the boys busy there. We're also ground gas. How much is that playing into the world of waterproofing as well now?
For any project, as you know, Neil, there's a planning permission needs to be granted and a site investigation needs to be performed, you know, maybe in 2 phases, based on source, pathway, receptor models. Ground gas and waterproofing. Ground gas is mentioned in BS 8102, which is the waterproofing standard. Mainly BS 8485 to do with methane and CO2, but we need to integrate ground gas considerations into our waterproofing designs because, as you'll know, certain types of waterproofing membrane can also double as ground gas protection membranes and vice versa.
Big thing now, isn't it? Some of these new hybrid products that are out there.
Absolutely, and in waterproofing we more often than not install 2 systems, so combined protection to lessen the risk of ingress. And as you'll know, in ground gas, there's choices of structure, membrane and ventilation, not less than 2 of, yeah?
Yeah.
So there's certain synergy between waterproofing and ground gas.
Definitely.
So it's something that I'm interested in, and
good.
you are too.
Well, I'm going to let you crack on with your learners. They're busy plastering. They've got that mesh in there, so all looking good. I'm going to let you get back to that. And we've got the ground gas boys coming in a minute, so watch out. Here we come. All right, brilliant. So it's been a productive day today. We've just said goodbye to our apprentices that we've had in here today, and Michael is still here. Hold on, Michael. Let's just tap you in onto the screen there. How are you? How's today going?
Very well. Yeah, it's been really good. We've had an excellent group.
Yeah.
There's been 4 of them that were really engaged and asking loads of questions.
It's great, isn't it, when they do that?
What they were doing. Yeah, enthusiasm, and it's flown by, frankly.
Do you know what, days like that really do zip by, don't they?
Yeah, this one has.
You get, like blink of an eye and it's gone.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
No, but apprenticeship schemes in general, how do you feel about them, Michael? Still really valuable?
I think it's really valuable for people to get taught the right way, instead of learning from the peers who may not have been instructed the right way in the first place.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to do things like read data sheets, understand waterproofing design, ground gas design, why it's designed like that, what the risks are, what the pitfalls are of installation, follow the data sheets, work to a drawing, make the odd mistake along the way.
Definitely.
Yeah, because it always happens.
Yes.
And then, more importantly, understand the implications of what mistake you've made and work out a way of redoing it or redetailing, And it's always communicating back what you've done, to the designer.
Yeah, well, it's been good because some of the guys, have been asking about challenging, elements of design, asking, should that be there? Why is it there? Not to challenge it in a malicious way, but to challenge it in a productive way.
Yeah.
Because somebody might have put a line there because they don't really know how buildability works.
That's right, and the phasing and what's practical and drying times for certain products.
That's it. So
things that can cause delays. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But it's been great, and really enjoyed today with you, Mike. Doing, sharing this. It's the first time I've done a co-shared event.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, same here.
Getting the timings right, getting everybody in the right place, and I think the group have all gone away happy.
They have, very much so, yeah.
Happy learners. So, no, it's great. I'm going to share this on the Gaffing On channel because I think apprenticeships is a really important thing. And just as a little advance notice, apprenticeship issues are taking place with the ground gas as well. CITB are very keen to drive through government incentives and government schemes after the Grenfell Tower that training and qualifications is becoming more of a prominent issue. So don't be surprised if you're asked some awkward questions in your tendering stage that, are your staff competent? Do they have the right certification? And just asking for that MVQ qualification won't be just as it was previously. It's getting more rigorous to get through that process. And likewise for our waterproofers, I think as well, Michael, it's they're being asked more and more, aren't they?
Very much so, and standards are always rising.
Which is great.
Which is great to do with climate change as well. It's waterproofing from the ground,
Modern scenarios playing out big time. So excellent. Well, Michael, it's been a pleasure today.
Yeah, same
Thank
here.
you.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
On to the next one. We've got another cohort coming in next year, so we'll see you all next time. Not here necessarily at the shed at Huntingdon with the PCA, but we're going to be doing other things, gassing on somewhere else next time. So see you all soon. Cheers now.